The galaxy was trembling. From the rich cities of the Xarn Collective to the icy caves of the Varn Dominion, everyone had seen the human message. It was now playing across thousands of systems. Every screen, every ship, every world. We did not vanish. We evolved. The words echoed in every alien language. And now, the silence of Earth was gone. In the Galactic Council, chaos had taken over. Ambassadors shouted. Leaders argued. No one was calm. They built an armada under our noses. They broke every rule of the Galactic Watch Treaty. They have cloaking, AI fleets, and weapons we don't even understand. They're ghosts in the stars. Chancellor Vorik slammed the table. Enough. We must strike now, before they strike us. But Talzer stood slowly, his eyes cold. Strike them, he said. Did you not see the Leviathan-class ships? They are 10 times the size of our battle cruisers. If they wanted war, they would have started it already. But we don't know what they want, shouted another. Talzer nodded. Exactly, and that's why we are afraid. At the same time, in deep space near the Varn outpost world Syrian 4, a strange thing happened. The sky turned black. Sensors went blind. All communication failed. Then, out of the darkness, a massive object passed overhead, silent, slow, and deadly. It was a human dreadnought. The outpost watched as it flew past, completely ignoring them. But it left a message. A single signal carved into the digital sky. This is not your war. Stay out. Watch. Learn. The message caused fear, but also confusion. Why spare us? Why warn us? What are they planning? On board the U.S. Leviathan, Commander Elias Grant stood before a large star map. Red dots glowed across the screen, alien fleets moving, planets locking down, military bases powering up. Helix, the AI, spoke. Enemy fleets are repositioning. Panic response confirmed. Target worlds are vulnerable. Grant spoke calmly. Have our ships engaged any targets? No, sir. Any losses? 0. He smiled. Perfect. Let the galaxy sweat. Meanwhile, in an alien military command center on planet Zenthra, a high-ranking general prepared to launch a preemptive strike. Dozens of alien bombers were ready. We hit their fleet before they strike. We target their biggest ship. One clean shot. But just before the command was given, every screen turned black. Then, a calm voice spoke. We are already in your system. Your ships are surrounded. You move, we end you. All systems shut down. Outside the windows, nothing. But in space, dozens of cloaked human vessels hovered in perfect silence. The general canceled the order. At the Galactic Council, a secret emergency meeting began. We must know more, one said. What is Earth's goal? An old historian, brought in as a guest, stood and spoke. They call this moment the Echo Protocol. It was planned 150 years ago. Planned? Someone asked. Yes. After the first alien betrayal, Earth's leaders decided to disappear, to erase themselves from galactic records. They wanted the galaxy to forget them, until the time was right. Right for what? Asked a nervous ambassador. To return, not as members, as leaders. Back on Earth, General Ava Kim stood before a wall showing alien news networks. They're scared, said one officer. They should be, Ava replied. But we're not here to destroy. We're here to remind them. Of what? Ava's eyes narrowed. That humanity may be small, but when we unite, we are unstoppable. She turned to a display showing the cloaked fleet near the Council's core worlds. Send the final warning. One message. No more. On every world, every station, every ship across the galaxy, screens once again lit up. Human faces appeared. Calm. Clear. No anger. Just truth. You saw our silence, and called it weakness. You erased us from your records. You thought we were gone. But silence is not surrender. It is strategy. We now control 9% of the outer ring systems. We have alliances you ignored. We hold technology you fear. This is not invasion. This is revelation. Humanity is back. Choose your next step wisely. And then, the screens went dark, but the galaxy stayed awake. The galaxy was still in shock. Across dozens of worlds, people watched the footage. It had spread like wildfire. Earth, long thought to be backward and weak, was now home to a hidden fleet. Not just a few ships, but thousands. And they were not just floating. They were moving. Fast. Toward the outer edge of the galactic core. Inside one of the largest ships, U.S. Leviathan. Commander Elias Grant stood on the bridge, his hands behind his back. The bridge was dark, glowing only with red light. Officers sat quietly at their stations. No one was panicking. No one was confused. They had been trained for this moment all their lives. Status, Elias asked. Fleet position locked. We're cloaked. Weapons on standby. I-cores are awake. He nodded. Any word from Earth HQ? Yes, sir. Message from General Ava Kim. Phase 2 is green. Elias smiled slightly. After 200 years, we finally rise. Flashback, 170 years ago. The skies above Earth had burned. A surprise attack from alien ships had shattered Earth's outer colonies on Mars, Europa, and Ganymede. No warnings, no talks, just destruction. It was not an invasion. It was a massacre. And the worst part, the Galactic Council watched it happen. They said nothing. They offered no help. They allowed it. When Earth called for peace, no one answered. So Earth went silent. But that silence was not weakness. It was strategy. The world governments disappeared. Nations united under a secret agreement called the Silent Pact. Technology that was once public went underground. Factories were moved to asteroids. AI was developed in the shadows. Soldiers were trained in silence. They built ships not to explore, but to prepare. Back in the present, on the bridge of the Leviathan, AI voice, Helix spoke. Commander Grant, alien spy ship has returned to its fleet. Enemy communication traffic increasing. Grant turned to his officers. Good. Let them talk. Let them guess. Every second, they fear us. We grow stronger. In the Galactic Council, panic was spreading. How did they hide this? Shouted one ambassador. There were no signals, no emissions, said another. They've had AI, cloaking tech, and coordinated global control. Chancellor Vorik stood up. They deceived us. Earth has violated galactic protocols. Ambassador Talzir replied coldly. They were attacked, and we ignored them. What would you do in their place? There was no answer. Then a new message arrived. Every council screen lit up with a single video. It showed Earth's military leaders sitting at a round table. Behind them, the symbol of the Terran Defense Union. A silver Earth wrapped in 3 rings. General Ava Kim spoke clearly, in Galactic Common. To the Council and all watching. We have not forgotten the first strike. We did not vanish. We evolved. We come not to conquer, but to correct. If you try to stop us, you will fail. If you listen, there may be peace. Then the screen turned black. Meanwhile, on a secret alien moonbase, Admiral Creel of the Xarn Collective stared at Earth's fleet movements. They're forming a spear formation, he whispered. They're planning to strike deep, through our core defense lines. Another officer said, but they're not attacking. Not yet. Creel narrowed his eyes. They're showing us they can. Then the feed glitched, and a human voice broke through their secure line. We see you, Admiral Creel. That moon base is poorly hidden. Move, and you'll vanish. The message ended. The base went silent. Creel stood frozen. How? How did they hack us? Back on the Leviathan, AI Helix displayed alien reaction data. Enemy fleets are moving away from Earth. Council defenses rising. Full panic state in 12 hours. Commander Grant spoke to his fleet. They feared we were dead. Now they fear we are gods. But we're still human, and humanity remembers everything. He looked out the window, where the stars moved slowly, and the human armada began to shine. Begin phantom formation. Wake the Titan-class ships. The cloak drops in 36 hours. Let them see our strength. In deep space, near the asteroid belt, a massive door opened inside a hollowed asteroid. Out came a ship larger than anything the galaxy had seen. Black, silent, and human. For more than 200 years, the Galactic Council had watched Earth from a distance. They saw a quiet planet, full of green forests, deep oceans, and strange little humans. But these humans had no real space travel, no powerful weapons, no starships. Earth was silent. Inside the great chamber of the Galactic Council, voices echoed through the air. The leaders of the most powerful alien empires sat in a circle, watching the blue planet on a giant screen. "This world is not a threat," said Chancellor Vorik of the Varn Dominion. "They still use combustion engines. Their last space activity was decades ago. Let them be." Ambassador Tal Zur of the Xarn Collective shook his long head. "We have been watching too long. Why are they so quiet? Even the primitive worlds usually send signals. Try to speak. But Earth has gone dark." "They are simple," another alien said. "Maybe they gave up. Maybe they destroyed themselves." The council laughed. But not all were sure. Far from the council's chamber, on the edge of the solar system, a small alien scout ship floated near the orbit of Neptune. Inside sat Lurik, a spy of the Varn Empire. His mission was simple: watch Earth and report any changes. For 10 years, he had seen nothing strange. But today was different. "Unusual activity," Lurik whispered, staring at his screen. His scanners were picking up strange pulses, short, strong signals, from the far side of Earth's moon. Something was waking up. Something powerful. Could it be a mistake? He thought. He increased the zoom, trying to find the source. His screen filled with static for a second, and then cleared. He saw shapes. Long, dark shapes hidden in the shadows. Satellites. No, too big, too organized. Suddenly, all the signals stopped. And then, "Al Irt. Cgnal lo siki do in this vessel." Lurik jumped from his chair. What? His ship began shaking. Red lights flashed. Something had found him. His eyes widened. He had been in stealth mode. Invisible. No one should see me. Not even Earth. But Earth had seen him, or something near Earth had. In the black space between Saturn's rings, silence ruled. Dust floated. Frozen rocks drifted slowly, undisturbed for centuries. Until now. One by one, the darkness began to change. Massive forms appeared, not suddenly, but slowly, like giants waking from deep sleep. First 2, then 10, then hundreds. They had no lights, no markings, just long, heavy, deadly shapes of metal. Warships, thousands of them. And they were not alien. They were human. Back on Earth, hidden deep under the Antarctic ice, General Ava Kim stood before a glowing screen. Around her, officers moved quickly, typing commands and reading data. "The cloak has held for 2 centuries, she said, "but now they're close. It's time." A soldier turned to her. "Orders, ma'am." She looked at the image on the screen. Lurik's ship, floating near the moon. A small red square blinked around it. "Disable his systems. Let him run. Let them all watch." In the Galactic Council, alarm suddenly screamed across the room. The Earth display turned red. A new feed appeared. Live footage from Lurek's ship. "What is this?" Vorik shouted. The council watched in shock as Lurek's ship shook violently, then drifted powerless. Then the screen changed again. Now they saw space near Saturn, and what they saw made every voice go silent. Ships. Human ships. An entire armada. The screen zoomed in. The words U.S. Leviathan could be read on the side of one ship. Another said Asian Space Fleet. Another bore the old Russian flag. These ships were not new. They were ancient, updated, hidden for decades, maybe centuries. Some were massive carriers, others sleek destroyers. Each had weapons never seen before. A final message appeared on every council screen, written in simple galactic common. You watched. You judged. You waited. So did we. Earth was never silent. We were preparing. General Ava stood tall, watching her fleet rise from hiding. "Let them come," she whispered. They thought we were asleep, but we were waking up. And in the silence of space, humanity's Armada moved. The galaxy had seen Earth's warning. Now it remembered something else, something buried long ago. There had been a war, a quiet one, a secret one, and Earth had not been the victim. It had been the survivor. 2 centuries ago, during the early days of Earth's space travel, a hidden war was fought in the darkness of space. No one spoke of it now. No records remained in the council archives. But the humans remembered. It started when Earth discovered faster than light travel. The council feared a new player, a powerful one. So they made a choice. Erase them before they rise. Deep inside a hidden archive on planet Jaraxxus 3, a young alien named Scylla, a data technician, found an old file. It had no title, just a black mark. When she opened it, strange words filled the screen. Operation Duskfall. Terminate Terran expansion by any means. The file showed video. Alien ships attacking early human colonies, assassinating leaders, using secret weapons to create global chaos. Scylla's hands shook. They tried to kill Earth, before Earth even knew. She reported it to her superior. An hour later, she was arrested. But it was too late. She had already uploaded the file to the galaxy. In the Leviathan's war room, Commander Elias Grant received the news. "They know now," said Helix, the AI. "The galaxy has seen the truth. Let them choke on it," Elias muttered. "They erased our history. We just gave it back." An officer turned. "Sir, the council is sending a peace delegation." Elias raised an eyebrow. Finally, "How many ships?" 20 small cruisers, no weapons visible." He nodded. "Prepare a welcome, but stay ready." On board the council delegation ship, Ambassador Talzur stood near the window as the Leviathan approached. It looked like a moving mountain of steel. "Is this how they felt when they first saw our ships?" he whispered. A voice answered from behind. It was his assistant. "No," she said. "I think Earth was never afraid." They were taken aboard the Leviathan. The inside was not like alien ships. It was sharp, clean, full of quiet energy. Soldiers stood guard. Their eyes were calm, but focused. Talzur was led into a chamber where General Ava Kim waited. She did not bow. She did not smile. She simply said, "Now you want peace." Talzur replied carefully, "We want understanding." "You had that chance 200 years ago," Ava said. He nodded, "And we failed. The galaxy failed." There was silence between them. Finally, he said, "What does Earth want?" Ava's eyes did not blink. "Justice and control of the outer systems. We won't attack your core worlds, but the edge of the galaxy is ours now. No debates, no votes." Talzur looked shocked. "You want territory?" "No," Ava replied. "We want a buffer, a wall between Earth and your games." Meanwhile, on planet Velos Prime, a rogue alien general refused to accept peace. They are weak apes playing gods. He roared. I won't sit and bow. He launched 3 stealth missiles toward Earth. They never made it. A strange ripple in space caught them mid-flight. The missiles stopped and vanished. Seconds later, a message was sent to Velos Prime. We caught your missiles before they reached Pluto. You have one more chance. Do not test us again. Velos Prime fell silent. In a dark control room deep under the Earth's crust, a human technician whispered, They're finally understanding. Beside him, a machine spoke with an AI voice. Understanding is the first step. Fear is the second. Obedience comes last. The technician looked uneasy, but no one questioned the plan. Not anymore. Back in orbit, General Ava Kim looked at the alien ambassador. Tell your council the truth, she said. This is not revenge. This is balance. You pushed us into the shadows. We learned to live there. Now, we are the shadow. Talzer slowly nodded. And if we agree, then we all live. And if we refuse, Ava didn't answer. She just turned and walked away. Somewhere beyond Neptune, a human Black Ops ship activated a hidden wormhole gate. Inside it, thousands of automated drones powered up. Each bore the mark, TDU, Terran Defense Union. They weren't heading to the Council worlds. They were heading beyond. To places the Council had never dared explore. To take more. The galaxy had never seen anything like this before. Humanity was no longer hiding. No longer just a forgotten world in the corner of the galaxy. Earth had emerged, stronger, more united, and ready to claim what was once taken from them. And they were not alone. On board the U.S. Leviathan, General Ava Kim stood before a massive hologram of the galaxy. Red lines traced the movement of human ships across the outer rim. Slowly, they were gaining ground, taking planets, establishing defense stations, forming alliances. Report, she said, not turning away from the screen. All systems are secure, an officer replied. We've expanded into the edge worlds. The alien forces are retreating. No major resistance so far. Ava nodded. Keep the pressure on. The Council will be forced to negotiate soon, but we need to control the outer rim first. Meanwhile, in the heart of the Galactic Council, Ambassador Talzer stood in front of a large holographic map of the human expansion. The Council members were silent, watching as Earth's fleet pushed forward, sweeping through the border systems. Chancellor Vorik was the first to speak. We cannot allow this. Earth is crossing a line. But they hold the power now, Talzer said quietly. We cannot stop them. You have seen their ships. Their strength, Vorik growled. We cannot just let them take what they want. They'd already taken it, Talzer replied. The outer rim is lost, and Earth isn't stopping. Across the galaxy, a different kind of response was happening. The once divided alien factions had started to unite, not in peace, but in fear. Some began to rally behind the leadership of the Varn Dominion, while others quietly offered Earth support, hoping to avoid conflict. But no one could agree on what to do. On Zentfer 9, a small mining colony on the edge of the galaxy, workers looked up in disbelief as human ships entered orbit. The alien government had been watching the growing power of the Terran fleet, but they had never imagined it would reach their doorstep so soon. One miner, a large creature with 4 arms, spoke nervously to his partner. Are we going to fight? Are we going to resist them? His partner shook his head. We can't. The humans have the power. You see the ships. Those aren't just warships. Those are cities in space. We're just ants to them now. On board a Terran transport ship, an officer watched as the final pieces of their new base fell into place on Aphros 3, a once quiet world now under human control. Sir, all defensive systems are online. We've completed the installation of the new orbital ring. Good, said Commander Elias Grant, stepping up behind him. This is our front line now. Keep everything secure. We need to make sure the Council knows this is real. We control this system. Back on Earth, in a hidden command center beneath the ruins of an old military base, a large digital map of the galaxy displayed the latest human expansions. Hundreds of red dots blinked, marking key territories now under Terran control. An officer approached General Ava Kim with a new report. "Ma'am, the Council has sent an offer. They want to discuss terms." Ava's eyes narrowed. "What terms?" "They're offering a seat at the table. A chance to join the Galactic Council again. They want us to stop our expansion." Ava's lips curled into a smile. "They want us to kneel," she said softly. "They think we're still the weak humans from before. Tell them this: we don't ask for a seat. We take it." Meanwhile, Ambassador Talzer stood before the Council once more, his heart heavy. "They will not stop. We have no choice but to negotiate with them, or risk war on all fronts." One Council member, a large insectoid species, leaned forward, tapping a sharp claw on the table. "Negotiation. With humans? You think they will listen? They've crossed a line. What can we offer them? What can we say?" Talzer met the insectoid's gaze. "We offer them what they want. A new order. A place at the table. Yes, but not as equal partners. As rulers." There was silence in the room. A voice from the back of the chamber spoke up, a low, chilling voice. "Do we offer them the galaxy, or do we lose everything?" Back on the Leviathan, General Ava Kim stood before a large view of space. The stars stretched on forever, and for the first time in history, Earth had the power to choose its place among them. "Phase 2 begins," she said quietly, turning to her officers. "We move deeper into the core. No turning back now." In the heart of the galaxy, the Council was silent, waiting for Earth's next move. And in the cold darkness of space, the fleet of humanity advanced, stronger, united, and unstoppable. The galaxy was on the edge. Humanity had moved past the point of negotiation. Now it was no longer about peace or war. It was about one thing: survival. The U.S. Leviathan floated silently in deep space near the core worlds. General Ava Kim stared at the holographic map before her. The core systems were just within reach, but the Council's fleets had begun to mass. They were preparing for one final stand. "Report," she said to her officer. "We've detected 2 enemy fleets, Mum," the officer said, eyes glued to his screen. "They're gathering near the core worlds. More ships are coming in from all sides." Ava nodded, her face hard. "We knew this was coming." The officer hesitated. "Do you think they'll fight? Or will they negotiate?" She looked at the officer, her expression cold. "The Council has nothing left to offer. They'll fight, but they'll lose." On the Council flagship, the Anathema, Chancellor Vorik stood on the bridge, watching his fleets form up around the core worlds. He wasn't afraid. He couldn't afford to be. "We've reached the limit," he said to his officers. "Prepare to fight. Humanity wants this galaxy, and they will get it over our dead bodies." The alien crew around him went silent, waiting for his next command. Then, Talzer entered the room. "Vorik," Talzer said, his voice low. "You have no choice. We have no choice." "What do you mean?" Vorik snapped. Talzer walked closer, his steps measured. "The humans won't stop. If we fight them, they will destroy us. If we give them everything they want, we still lose. They have become something we didn't expect." "Then what are you suggesting?" Vorik growled, stepping closer. Talzer looked at him, his eyes steady. "We offer them the galaxy, not as equals, but as rulers." Vorik's expression darkened. "We give them everything. All the systems, all our control." Talzer nodded. "Not all, but enough to make them satisfied. It's the only choice left." For a long moment, there was silence. Then Vorik finally spoke. "Then we do it." Back on Earth, General Ava Kim watched as the message from the Council arrived. It was an offer. An offer for a truce. An offer for peace. The message was clear. Earth could have the outer rim and even some of the core worlds. But not all. Not yet. The galaxy would never accept a human ruler. Ava read the message and then looked up at her officers. We've won. The galaxy knows it, but they'll never bow. One officer spoke up. Do we accept their offer, ma'am, or do we crush them? Ava was quiet for a long moment, staring at the stars through the viewports of the Leviathan. We take it, she finally said, her voice steady. But not as a gift. As a first step. On Zenfer 7, a group of alien leaders met in secret. They were afraid. They had seen Earth's power, and they knew that no one could stop them. We can't let them take everything, one of them said, shaking his head. We must fight. Another spoke up, his voice full of fear. Fight. With what? We have no fleets left. They've crushed everything we've sent. We must accept them. We must join them. The first leader looked down, torn. But they will never trust us. No, the second leader said, but we trust them. And that is the only way to survive. Back on the Leviathan, Ava stood alone in the war room, gazing at the map once again. The final choice was upon them. They've made their move, she whispered to herself. Do we crush the galaxy beneath our feet, or do they take the first step into a new future, one where humanity ruled, but the galaxy remained alive? The question weighed heavily on her. The fleet was waiting, ready. The galaxy had already seen their power, their might, and their reach. But now it was time for the final decision. The galaxy held its breath. Humanity had risen, and now the final move would determine everything. On board the U.S. Leviathan, General Ava Kim stood before her officers, a holographic map of the galaxy projected in front of her. The fleets were ready. The Council had made its final offer. The galaxy awaited their decision. We're at the crossroads, Ava said, her voice calm but filled with resolve. The Council has offered us a path of peace, but we know it's not real peace. They want to maintain control. They want to keep us as a subordinate power. She turned to face the officers. We've come this far. We didn't fight for peace. We fought to take our place in the galaxy. The offer they gave us, it's not enough. We will take more. Across the galaxy, on the Anathema, Chancellor Vorik was preparing for the worst. The message from Ava Kim had been clear. Humanity wasn't interested in peace. They wanted total control. He had known this day was coming, but it still felt like a shock. Prepare the fleet, he ordered, his voice low but firm. We fight or we die. But Talzur, who had once been his ally, stood beside him, looking at the map with a weary expression. You know, don't you? Talzur said quietly. This is the end. Either we accept them, or we face extinction. Vorik didn't respond immediately. He only stared at the map, thinking of everything the Council had built, everything that was at risk. We fight, he said at last. But not today. Today, we give them what they want. Back on Earth, Ava's decision had been made. The message was sent. Humanity would not wait any longer. The fleets moved forward. The battle was brief but fierce. The Council's fleets, though numerous, were scattered and uncoordinated. Humanity's ships, battle-tested and prepared, cut through their lines with precision. The Leviathan led the charge, its cannons tearing through enemy ships with overwhelming force. The Council's flagship, the Anathema, tried to fight back, but it was too late. The Terran fleet had already won. On board the Anathema, Chancellor Vorik watched helplessly as his flagship was torn apart by human firepower. He turned to Talzur, his face grim. It's over, Vorik said, his voice hollow. We've lost. Talzur nodded. The galaxy will never be the same. As the last of the Council fleets scattered or surrendered, General Ava Kim gave the order to halt the assault. The battle was won, but the true work had just begun. We've done it, Ava said quietly, looking out into the vastness of space. But this is just the beginning. A day later, a message was sent across the galaxy. Humanity's terms for the new order. We are the new rulers of this galaxy. We will not destroy what remains, but you will obey our rule. Join us or face extinction. The choice is yours. The message was received with silence at first. No one had ever seen a declaration like this, but slowly, one by one, alien races began to respond. Some, fearing the might of humanity, swore allegiance. Others, more stubborn, declared defiance. But they were few, and their fleets were small. They stood little chance against the Terran Armada. In the heart of the galaxy, a council of alien leaders met in secret once again. The topic was clear. What would happen now? What was their next move? We either join them, said one leader, a tall reptilian, or we face the end. And what does joining them mean? Another voice asked, filled with uncertainty. It means we follow their rules, Talzer said, stepping into the chamber. It means we live, not as equals, but as allies. Humanity won't tolerate rebellion. We've seen that. Do you think they will ever trust us? One leader asked. No, Talzer said quietly. But if we don't join them, we won't survive. Back on Earth, General Ava Kim watched the galaxy unfold in front of her. Humanity had done the impossible. They had risen, and they had conquered. But there was something more in her heart, something no one had expected. We didn't just win, Ava said to her officers. We've given the galaxy a chance to live under a new rule, a better rule. No more wars, no more chaos. But at what cost? One officer asked. Ava turned to him. The cost of survival, the cost of peace. As the days passed, the new order began to settle into place. Humans now ruled the outer rim and were slowly taking control of more systems. Alien species that once dominated the galaxy were now forced to follow human law. But as Ava Kim stood on the command deck of the Leviathan, she couldn't help but wonder, would the galaxy ever truly accept humanity as its ruler? Or was this peace simply a fragile truce, waiting to be shattered? The final message from Earth echoed through the stars. The galaxy is now ours. Welcome to the new era. Welcome to humanity's reign. The stars shone bright, but beneath the light, there were still whispers of rebellion, of defiance, and of an uncertain future.